So now we are starting with the 17th sum. The capital structure of JPCPL Limited is as follows: equity share capital, 8% preference share capital, 10% debentures. Then we have profit after tax. Tax rate is 30%, 1,82,000. We have operating expense including depreciation of 90,000 being 1.50 times of EBIT. So they have given operating expenses. So we are talking about fixed operating expenses, which is fixed cost. Equity share dividend paid is 15%. Market price per equity share is rupees 20. You are required to calculate the operating and financial leverage, the cover, the preference in equity share dividend, the earning yield and the price earning ratio, and the net fund flow. So this is an important question for your exams. So let's start with this. So first I will be preparing the format. So we have sales minus variable cost will give me contribution, minus fixed cost will give me earning before interest and tax, minus interest will give me earning before tax, minus tax will give me earning after tax, and from this I will pay preference dividend. So these are the earnings available to equity shareholders. This I will divide by number of equity shares. Finally I'll get earning per share. So this is the format which I have prepared. Now they have given profit after tax, which is 1,82,000. So the earnings after tax 1,82,000, this they have given to us. Then the tax rate is 30%, so tax rate is 30%. So I can say that 100 rupees is my EBT. So 30 rupees is my tax, that is 30% of 100, that is 30 rupees is my tax. So my EAT will be 70. Now 100 multiplied by 1,82,000 divided by 70. So I will get the EBT. So 1,82,000 multiplied by 100 divided by 70. So 2,60,000 is my EBT. Now from 2,60,000 I will be subtracting 1,82,000. So 78,000 will be my tax. So this much I am able to solve right now. Now operating expenses they have told to be 1.5 times of EBIT. So first we need to find the interest. So debentures are 4 lakh and on this 4 lakh I have to pay 10% interest. So 40,000 will be my interest. So 2,60,000 plus 40 will give me 3 lakhs. So 3 lakhs will be my EBIT. So 3 lakhs will be my EBIT. Now they have told me that the operating expense, these are called fixed operating expense, are 1.55 times of EBIT. So I can say my fixed cost is 1.5 times the EBIT. Obviously this fixed cost includes depreciation, which we will discuss later. So 1.50 into EBIT, which is 3 lakhs. So 3 lakhs into 1.5. So 4,50,000 is my fixed cost. So here I am writing 4,50,000. Now 3 lakh plus 4,50,000 will give me 7,50,000. So 7,50,000 is my contribution. Now the other information we don't know. So this information is not required. So I am able to solve this much. Now the preference dividend. So 6,25,000. On that 6,25,000 of preference share capital, I have to pay 8% preference dividend. 6,25,000 into 8%. So 50,000 is the preference dividend. So 1,82,000 minus 50,000. So 1,32,000 is the earnings which are available to equity shareholders. Now I need to find the number of equity shares. So 8 lakh when I divide by 10. So 80,000 is the number of equity shares. So 1,32,000 divided by 80,000 shares. So 1.65 is my earning per share. So I'm able to prepare the entire statement right now. Now the first question is we have to find the operating leverage. So we will find the operating leverage, which is contribution divided by EBIT. So we have our contribution, which is 7,50,000, and we have our EBIT, which is 3 lakhs. So 7,50,000 divided by 3 lakhs. So 2.5 is my operating leverage. Now we need to find the financial leverage. So financial leverage is EBIT divided by EBT. So EBIT is 3 lakhs and EBT is, so this formula I can't use it since there is preference dividend. So the financial leverage will be EBIT divided by EBT minus the preference dividend divided by 1 minus tax. So this you have to be alert. So EBIT I have 3 lakhs. So 3 lakhs is the EBIT. EBT is 2,60,000 is the EBT. So 2,60,000. Then the preference dividend is 50,000. So 50,000 is the preference dividend, 1 minus the tax. Tax is 30%. So 0.3 I will take it. So 3 lakhs. This is 2,60,000 minus 50,000 divided by 0.7. So 71429 I am getting. 71429. So 3 lakhs have to divide 2,60,000 minus 71429. So 1,88,571. So 3 lakhs divided by 1,88,571. So 1.59 I am going to get my financial leverage. So we are able to find the first part. Now they have said you have to find the cover for the preference dividend and for the equity dividend. So the cover for preference dividend, the formula you need to remember, that is profit after tax divided by the preference dividend. So the profit after tax is this. So we have a profit which is 1,82,000, right? So 1,82,000 is the profit available to us before declaring or before paying the preference dividend. And how much is the preference dividend? We have 50,000 as our preference dividend. So this is the cover. So I am having sufficient amount of profit so that I will be able to pay the preference dividend. So 1,82,000 divided by 50,000. So cover is 3.64 times. So I have 3.64 times more profit. So the cover is sufficient enough. So preference shareholders need not to worry. Now they want cover of equity share dividend. So the formula will be profit after tax minus the preference dividend divide by the equity dividend. Okay, so the profit after tax minus the preference dividend. First we need to find the equity dividend. So the equity share dividend is paid at the rate of 15%. So on this 8 lakh of capital, 15% is the rate. So 8 lakh into 15%. So 8 lakh into 15%. So 1,20,000 is the equity dividend. So I know the equity dividend to be 1,20,000. Now the profit after tax, see the profit after tax here, this one. The profit after tax less the preference dividend are the earnings available to equity shareholders. So that is 1,32,000. So 182 minus 50 I will be writing. So 182,000 minus 50,000. So we are going to solve here only. 182 minus 50 is 1,32,000. And this you have to divide by 1,20,000. So I'm getting 1.1 as my cover. So since your cover is always greater than 1, it is a good thing that you have sufficient cover. You have sufficient earnings to pay your preference dividend as well as your equity dividend. Now we need to find the earning yield and the price earning ratio. So we have to find the earning yield. Now remember that whenever they talk about yield, in the denominator there will be market price per share. This you have to remember. And since it is called earning yield, so on the top we will write earning per share, and this we have to express in percentage, so into 100. So whenever they say yield, always keep into mind in the denominator you have to keep your market price per share. So earning per share we have calculated, it is 1.65, and market price per share I think they have given us. So the market price per equity share is 20 rupees. So the market price is 20 into 100. So 1.65 divided by 20 percentage. So 8.25% is the earning yield. Now next what they want is the price earning ratio. So we have to find the price earning ratio. For the time being I am just calculating it. So the meaning will be explained when we do ratio analysis. So the price is called the market price per share and the earning is called earning per share, and this is called PE ratio. So the market price per share we know that it is 20 and the earning per share is 1.65. So 20 divided by 1.65, so 12.12 times, this is your answer. So PE ratio will always be shown in number of times. In other words, your earnings are 12.12 times. The market price is 12.12 times of the earnings. So this is called the price earning ratio. Now we have to find the net fund flow. So this is an important part. Now when they talk about the net fund flow, they are talking about how much cash profit is available to you. How much cash profit is available to you. So you have profit after tax. You have a profit after tax which is 1,82,000. So this is the profit after tax, 1,82,000. Now in this you have to add your depreciation. Since depreciation is a non-cash expense and they have told you that the depreciation is 90,000. So 90,000 you have booked it as an expense, but you have not spent it in the form of cash outflow. So 90,000 depreciation you will add it. So this is going to give you your cash profit. So 1,82,000 plus 90,000. So 2,72,000 is your cash profit. Now out of this cash profit you have paid preference dividend and you have also paid the equity dividend. And the net cash profit, your net cash profit is nothing but your net fund flow. So preference dividend you have paid is 50,000 and equity dividend is 1,20,000. So you have paid here 50,000, here you have paid 1,20,000. So the net profit which is available to you after this payment is 1,02,000. So 1,02,000 will be your net cash profit, which will be your net fund flow. So I think yes, we are able to solve the sum. So it's an important sum, so practice it out. We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you.